Good day and welcome back to another DBZ Dokkan Metal video. In this video we are going to take a look at how the AGL Trunks does in the, Extreme Super Battle Road. So we're going to take a look at how AGL Trunks does in the Extreme Super Battle Road stage. Obviously, this guy, pretty good unit, one of the new DFEs. I've managed to find a 69% friend unit. And so I thought it would just be good to see how he handles a pretty tough stage overall. For me, obviously one of the best units in the game. I of course incredibly like Trunks as my favorite character, so I am going to be somewhat biased, but I mean, sue me, it's okay. I'm allowed to have bias. I am a YouTuber, not a point of authority. So yeah, anyway, Trunks, pretty awesome. Obviously a transforming unit, so hopefully we'll be able to see his transforming mechanic. We are running him in the third slot. I do feel like a floating unit or a second slot unit is the best. We are just trying to pair him up though in another rotation basically. But he's pretty good. He has a high amount of defense after his super attacks, so he should be more than fine, but it'll be pretty cool to take a look at how that works. In terms of Trunks, just to cover everything, he's an Entrusted Will or Android Cell Saga category lead, HP 130% and attack and defense 170%. He raises defense for 1 turn on his super attack and causes immense damage to the enemy. He also has attack and defense of 100%, plus an additional attack and defense of 100% when attacking. He also has a great chance of launching up to 2 additional attacks, and launches another additional attack that has a great chance of becoming a super attack every time the character attacks 3 times in battle, and this will occur up to once within the turn. He has an active skill, that is to transform, and when he transforms he stuns a single targeted enemy and seals that enemy's super attack for 1 turn. This can be activated after he has fired off 6 super attacks in a single go. So as you could see there, he got some pretty nice damage in on the Android 18, and we managed to take her out in 1 go. I do think Trunks does best as a high damage dealer in the second slot. He doesn't bring a lot of utility barring on his transformation. He does have a stunning ability if the entire rotation is Android and Cell Saga orientated, but for the most part Trunks doesn't really bring that much utility. The Future Saga stage is actually a stage that thrives on high levels of utility, like the ability to stun enemies is actually very, very helpful in the Future Saga, like ESBR and things like that. So I definitely would say that, especially for this ESBR, he's more a high damage dealer that I would use in the third slot or maybe in the second slot. But as a unit in general, he's definitely just a second slot unit. His high levels of damage are going to be super duper helpful and are going to assist you in like getting things done. I think anything less probably won't be that great. Third slot or floating is also fine, like realistically speaking, but yeah, for me, I definitely find that like second slot's the best place. I do think floating is also cool, but as a floater, the only thing is like you're missing out on a lot of consistent damage. Like, although he obviously has damage spikes, usually I like floaters to be supports or one-off utility-based units that provide stunning or sealing support. Like this Strength Trunks is a prime example of a great floater. He does damage, he has good defense, he provides support to the rest of the rotation, he stuns, just a very good unit from that perspective. But yeah, we'll just have to see what happens with Trunks. We're going to utilize him here. Nothing too crazy. We will use an item just to see how he tanks after super and just get a good idea of how he does. For the most part, Trunks is pretty rad. So he should be fine. We are going to activate, like I said, an item. His defense doesn't look too great, but remember he's going to double that on his super. and he's also going to raise it with each super attack, and he's more than likely going to fire off at least two super attacks, so he's going to have some pretty good defense. Trunks can have some pretty crazy defense. The moment you get these two subsequent like attacks there, you are pretty much guaranteed, or you are guaranteed his second super, and then there's always a chance of the third follow-up super, which, you know, does help. Took single digits there with an item, which is good. Tech first form cell is pretty rough. He's a pretty hard bargain to kind of float for units, especially AGL ones. He's a single tech unit, and as you guys know, in ESBR and things like that for Dokkan, you know, units, when there's one unit or two units, the one unit's generally stronger than like a set of two units, or at least individually speaking, because it's usually as strong as two units put together. It'll have a very similar health pool that will hit, you know, not twice as hard as those two units, but it will hit like 1.5 times harder. It's to maintain the difficulty, so they are scaled for the amount of enemies that you have. But yeah, Trunks looking good. The damage is nice, doing some really good consistent damage. Could be doing better. Obviously we're not really catering to him perfectly with links, which is something. We will have a bit of a better rotation for him specifically next turn. You know, we're going to have something like the strength Trunks coming in and supporting this AGL one, which is going to be super duper helpful. And we'll get to see his transformation, and then after that we'll probably call it here. I think we've seen enough from him. He's a damage dealer. Like I said, he doesn't bring a lot of utility unless you have an Android Cell Saga team, in which he does bring stunning, which is great, but realistically you're bringing Trunks for his damage. His really good levels of damage. But yeah, so we've got him here. We're going to link him up with the strength Trunks. That's going to be like our best little pairing for him. Obviously gives him that 2 key that he doesn't really get from shocking speed, so there'll be a nice little duo there. You can see his defense is also all the way up to 88,000, which is really good. So yeah, we'll get a good idea of how this Trunks does, and then he should be able to transform the turn afterwards. So if we get 2 attacks here, he'll be able to transform next turn, which will be really nice to see his transformation and then kind of just take it from there. So yeah, he'll get his first attack here. As long as he procs his 2 attacks afterwards or gets an additional, then we'll be good to go. So there we go. 1 attack, 2 attacks, he'll get his super. Perfect. So Trunks has hit his requirement. Trunks will definitely be able to transform next time he's come out, and then we'll be able to see that transformation and see the big increase in damage, which will be very cool. So yeah, overall, for the most part, pretty solid, really exceptional damage dealer. Great second slot tank as well. You could link him up with the future Gohan, for example, and you'd actually have a really potent pairing, because in the second slot he's not really going to take any damage. He can really raise his defense quite high. I think his total buff, his total buff is 300% when he performs like his super attacks and everything. And yeah, he's just basically really solid. Like, there's not really too much to say. I mean, not solid, he's just spectacular. His damage is just incredible, and he does really good amounts of it. So for me, super duper happy. And a really cool thing is actually that so in this situation here, where you enter the turn in and you've obviously used an item here, the really cool thing is you can actually just transform him, and then you'll get the stun and the seal off. So let's transform him and then let's see what happens.
Come at me with everything you've got. Goku isn't the only Super Saiyan. There's another one right here.
So yeah, pretty cool transformation, really awesome. I think it's great. Or they prefer they had the one where they're like, the one that's in his card art, like where he, basically lifted all the bodies with his transformation. That would have been sick, but I guess they didn't want to do that for, I don't know, reasons. But yeah, gets a double super attack. Both are going to be crits, huge damage, and yeah. So let me know what you guys think about Trunks. Do you think he did a good job? Do you think he was good? And if you enjoyed the video, leave a like on it, or leave a comment and I'll get back to you. But as always guys, that's going to be it from me. I'll see you in the next video. So until then, take care, stay safe, and bye.